Hey team, this message is for our bookkeeping buddies out there. And I know when my firm offered only bookkeeping, it was super hard to find a tax preparer to partner with. Well, if that's you, look no further. Me and my team at Specialized Accounting are looking for bookkeeping to partner with. We will do the tax planning and preparation for your clients, and you keep doing the bookkeeping. No longer have fears of working with a tax preparer that doesn't know what they're doing or live in fear of them stealing your clients. Me and my team, we want to continue to grow, and I want to continue to grow UnAccountable without growing the name that we steal clients. So we would love to partner with you. If you're interested in working with our team to do the taxes for your clients, reach out to hello@specializedat.com. That's Specialized Accounting and Tax, specializedat.com. See you soon. Welcome to UnAccountable, the world's okayest accounting game show podcast for product news updates. I am your Intuit advocate of a host, Tyler Otto, and I'm joined by the QuickBooks backer, Jeremy Van Gool, today.
In person.
I know. We're at QuickBooks Connect. Yeah. We're in a corner hoping they don't kick us out. So who knows? You may see security come and ask us to leave. This could be wonderful. We don't know.
Yeah.
But Jeremy, I mean, so far, good conference.
Yeah, I agree. And if you can't tell from your voice, last night was it Connect Fest?
Yep.
Where it was at the Cosmo, huge party, free drinks, all the things. So for a little raspy and slow today, slower than normal, that could be why.
I think it's also the problem of I'm becoming an old man, because now it's like I'd rather go to bed at 9 o'clock and save my voice. This is me saving my voice than the old man that stayed out all night. You partied until 9:30. You went hard.
I did. I can't going to bed at 8 o'clock p.m. in Vegas, I feel like goes against all my morals.
Yeah. That's fair. You lived it right.
Yeah.
Jeremy, though, exciting news, well, at least cool news that we finally have direction, but IRS announced tax rates for next year.
Right.
So,
some interesting changes.
Yes, hit us with a highlight reel.
All right, highlight reel.
And sorry, folks, usually we got computers, you don't see we're doing this, but we're not actually smart. We got to use it.
Pulling back the curtains.
Yeah, right, very much so.
I love that. So, I think one of the standard deductions went up.
Yep.
Right? So, did you look at this?
I did, and then forgot after last night.
All right, so let's do a little quiz. So, for individuals, that climbed. What was it previously? You know this?
It was, oh my gosh, every year. For individuals, it was $14,750.
Ooh, super close. 14.6.
14.6.
Yep, and jumped up to what now?
It's a flat round number now, isn't it? Is it 16?
15.
15, yeah. Okay.
But I love it, as accounts, especially we're building budgets or something, I love just nice round numbers.
Yes.
So thank you, IRS.
Yes.
Let's do more of this.
Yes.
These nice
Make it easy on us, just flat jumps from here on out.
Yeah. Yeah, and then couples filing jointly, it was
just double what single was, so it was, what is that? 27 math? No, 450? 28, 850?
29.2.
There you go. See, folks, this is proof that accountants do not need to be good at math. They just got to know how to use Excel.
Yeah, I forgot. You were just talking to Tax Dome, and there was a head math question. People looked at me, I'm like, ooh, head math.
No.
So that remained double up with single too. So that is
that
nice even.
Yeah,
a nice even
30,000.
30K.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, and just a couple of the changes. I don't think rates changed. Right, the top tier is still 37.
Still 37. Yep.
Yeah, and it starts at 626,000, which with how many connections we made here.
Yeah,
that's going to be the income that we're going to get from UnAccountable next year.
I sure hope so. Both our listeners seemed really excited when we met them.
Yeah,
so
fantastic.
I just love it because now we can actively start doing tax planning for our clients and paint that picture.
I don't do taxes again, right? How much work does this give you guys when you sing paint? Most of it's in your tax software, Drake.
Yeah.
But just be a lot you're doing some consulting now.
Yeah.
Right? Just changing some numbers and I know you have some spreadsheet magic that you work for your clients, so update those.
Just a really quick update, but now it's another reason to reach out to the client, right? Because you're trying to provide value. And so being able to say, hey, we have those numbers now. Now let's give you your full picture. It's just another reason to reach out and give them a touch point and make them feel like, hey, you're on top of stuff. Give the illusion that I know what I'm doing.
We are at you have your own magic show in Vegas. It's a tax illusion.
Yeah.
Just one other one too, flexible spending. Healthcare flexible spending went up $100 for the year. That's one that we preach. free money going in, throwing free, all sorts of tax benefits on that one. So a couple other changes too. So check that out. I'm very interested.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, here's the magic is because we're at QuickBooks Connect, you're going to see a bunch of bouncing around through this episode because we're having to splice it all together. So cut to our fantastic guest. Okay, Jeremy. Well, I'm stoked because we get a guest, and we couldn't have timed it better because we're at Intuit Connect, and we get Roger Knecht to join us. Now, for those that don't know, Roger is the president of Universal Accounting. Fantastic. Roger, I don't think I could do it justice. So welcome to the show, Roger Knecht. Tell us about yourself.
Certainly. So president of Universal Accounting Center, like you just mentioned, we're a post-secondary school for accounting professionals. We basically work with the owners of bookkeeping, accounting, and tax businesses to help them build what I refer to as the premier accounting firm in their area. We help them. We train their staff. We basically allow them to offer quality accounting services.
I mean, really, you guys are the one-stop shop to really get them up to pace, up to snuff, I guess you'd say, especially like you work not only for those trying to build their own firms, but those trying to build up their own employees, right?
Correct. So we've worked with a number of individuals that are in the startup phase. So they're clearly trying to start from scratch, act as a solopreneur as it is for maybe bookkeeping services, tax services, CFO and advisory services. But clearly we're working with established firms as they're trying to actually bring on qualified individuals to staff their organizations. So we're training them so as to have the skills needed to take care of the clients.
That's awesome. Well, Roger, I'm pumped because we get to run you through fast figures.
Welcome to Fast Figures. 10 questions, 1 minute-ish. All answers are numbers. The game starts now.
Are you ready to go, sir?
I hope so. Let's see what we can do here.
All right, Ian, our editor, thank you so much for throwing a minute on the clock, and let's jump into it now. All right, question number 1, Roger. What tax form does a corporation file on its tax return?
The 1120.
According to the educationdata.org, what is the average current cost of college for 1 year?
30,000.
This year, Tadej Pogačar won the Tour de France. Which number title was this for him?
4.
How many numbers are there in a standard credit card number?
16.
Within 10 years, what year was BYU founded?
1879.
How many tax brackets are there?
Tax brackets? 4.
How many owners must there be on a business for it to be considered a partnership?
2.
How many days are there in a fortnight?
4.
And last question, how many lines must there be in a simple journal entry?
I'm going to say 1.
All right. Well, sir, that was it. Simple and positive. How do you feel about it?
I'm just hoping I get better than 70%. As long as I pass, I'm going to be happy.
I don't know. Jeremy and I do this enough, and we've gotten 40%. We shoot for C's.
We shoot for C's. All right. Let's see if I get a C.
All right. So let's hit the first question. What form does a corporation file its tax return on? You said 1120, and ding, ding, ding. Bring this up because Universal Accounting, if you have the ability to teach someone how to run an accounting firm, or you also have tax training. Like, talk to me what you guys got going on over there to set bookkeepers up to really learn the basics.
So we have a few courses, one of which is the Professional Tax Preparer Program. It covers both individual and business returns. It essentially shows that an individual is proficient in both from a preparation and planning perspective. And with that, they can be certified as a professional tax preparer, representing that they are proficient in each of those. We also have the AFSP that they can go through, as well as an EA prep course that they can take, basically preparing them to become enrolled agents.
Is there some minimum level of education or anything that you need to have somebody into this?
Great question. Typically with tax, it's comfortable to have some familiarity with accounting, but it's not necessary. I have more than half our individuals that are actually coming in with very limited experience. And so they're going through with the intent of actually going into the program. So it does tailor towards the person who doesn't have the experience. It's intended to actually give them an understanding of the history of tax, why taxes are taken, what they're used for. So it does actually go in a little bit of depth as to what the whole essence of tax is as it relates to government. So I would definitely say it's at a beginner's level, but clearly we have individuals that are preparing for their EAs that go through the course as an EA prep course, simply because of the fact that it covers everything that they're going to be needing to know for the exam.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to have a clean slate anyway than have like bad training ahead of time.
It can bias you, that's for sure.
Question 2, according to education.org, what is the average cost of college for 1 year these days? I said within 10K, you guessed 35. The answer, 38. Hot dang. And I bring this up right now because so many accountants are getting into the space and overspending and not always leaving with the tools they need versus programs like Universal Accounting, which, I mean, I'm sure you guys would love to collect 35K a year, but that's not what is needed for people to get in this profession. Talk to me how you feel like that dichotomy versus what you offer versus what college leaves them with.
Well, I'm going to perhaps sound different than many may expect. I'm obviously a school. We're within the education spectrum, but as it relates to going and getting a 4-year degree, a 6-year degree, it really depends on what essentially you're trying to accomplish with your career goals. And as it relates to Universal Accounting, we've got individuals that go through our programs with the intent of becoming comfortable and proficient in bookkeeping, accounting, tax, and they're spending just thousands of dollars, not tens of thousands. And so it's very affordable when it comes to actually maybe entering the profession or expanding your skill sets to pursue a great career. It's not meant to be something that's unaffordable. We're very realistic as it relates to basically having tuitions that others can basically pay individually, and we have financing that is something that many take advantage of.
I think, too, we've discussed this before, that the 4-year degrees give you good theory things, but we've worked with like first year and auditor people, and they don't have the realistic and the day-to-day of how you do this. And that makes it hard.
It does. One of the things that we really kind of emphasize in our training is real world experiences. We give exercises, assignments that are essentially what you would experience in the real world. So whether it be the tax training, doing the tax forms for individuals and businesses, or in the bookkeeping, actually doing the books for a business, we go through 11 industries in the bookkeeping program. So it's all intended to give the experience that I think many lack as they go through a traditional college experience.
Next question. This year, Tata Piguacha won the Tour de France. Which number title was this? You said 4. You look like you're raising your hands up. Are you wanting to change your answer, or you feel good about it?
No, I'm sticking with 4. I'm eagerly waiting.
The answer was 3. This was his 3rd title. But I bring this up because you are an avid biker. You are a fan of your road bike. Are you still getting out in a bunch? What does Roger Knecht do besides that in his free time?
I have not been on my bike in some time, unfortunately. So I've been traveling quite a bit, and I've kind of gotten out of the habit, unfortunately. So the biking, I need to take that back up. And unfortunately, we're coming into winter, and I don't know that I'm going to pull it off.
Let's say 2 years ago when you and I were talking, that was our kindred thing. So yes, I'm going to hold you accountable to that, man. I mean, I know we're unaccountable, but I'm going to hold you accountable.
You know, I used to even do stationary bikes, and I haven't done a stationary bike in some time, like the Peloton and so forth. I need to get my butt in a seat again.
My wife and I were on a cruise last week, and we were in Mexico and took some e-bikes around and had a ball, but like the roads are a little shady. Like, ooh, I hope I don't make her fall or hit this pothole. But it was a good time.
You know, I was just on my first e-bike just this last weekend. We were out at Antelope Island and went around the island, and it was an amazing experience. I actually did not use the power assist except for on the hill. So it was like a heavier bike, like a bigger mountain bike, riding along as everybody else was powering up. I was intentionally trying to get my exercise in, but at the end of the day, it was a pretty impressive experience on that.
That was fun.
Next question. How many numbers are there on a standard credit card? You said 12, but you fixed it right before we moved on to 16. Correct, sir. And I love this question because right now, there's so much controversy around credit cards, whether or not we allow clients to pay for them. Do we really want to absorb that fee? I'm curious how you feel about it, especially as you coach firms. How do you feel about passing on those fees to the customers versus absorbing them yourself as a firm or forcing ACH? Like, that seems like an easy way to drive profit for firm owners, but I'm curious your thought on that.
Wow, this is probably more time than we have because I have a big opinion on it. I was just looking at my financials before this meeting, and I saw my financial fees, what I paid for merchant services, and I'm right now not a happy fan of my merchant fees. So yeah, we don't want to go there. Yes, there are services. I know Anchor, for example, provides the ability to do billing where you can actually have the client pick whether or not they choose credit card or ACH. I know that Google, for example, just actually removed the ability for agencies to actually pay via credit card. They're requiring all the people to go to ACH. I know that the merchant service fees are becoming something that a lot of people are trying to avoid because they are so costly, and I feel unnecessarily so. It's fascinating to me that you can build an industry that's based on a percentage of sales, not just a transaction fee. Granted, I'll pay 50 cents a transaction for the digits to be transferred from one digital screen to another digital screen, but for them to actually take a percent of the transaction simply because they move digits from one place to another is fascinating to me. But the point is that as a firm, what do you want to actually do for your clients? Clearly, I would prefer a credit card simply because of the fact that I expect that the funds are going to more easily be there. I'm not going to deal with insufficient fund type things. I'm not going to have to deal with collections perhaps as often. So there is a convenience that comes about with credit cards. And as it relates to personal use, I like the perks that come from putting things on my card. I like the consumer protection that comes from if there's an unnecessary charge or whatever. I'd rather go that route, but the fees are becoming exorbitant and I hate them. So personally, I tell my clients, the business owners, to actually get credit cards from their clients just simply because of the fact that I think it is more convenient from a billing perspective. It's more likely the funds will be there and I'm not going to deal with, say, collections issues. But yes, the fees are becoming unnecessarily exorbitant. So
I completely agree, because that's one of the biggest struggles we have is, you think about it, if it used to be $3 a transaction and then I doubled my revenue, well, my transaction fees doubled. And it's not like, that service should also double. Instead, it feels like they should go with inflation, like my cost shouldn't go up. So I like where you're saying, like, yeah, it should be 50 cents a transaction. And then maybe it increases 10% next year, but it's not based on my revenue growth. So I'm right there with you. I don't know. Jeremy, do you pass on?
Yeah, I just don't know that the merchant service changes whether or not it's $100, $1,000, or $10,000, or even $1. I mean, it's a simple transaction. It is literally just an electronic thing that's going on between different services. And I'm just fascinated that they get to take such a large chunk for no different thing than just the digits you put in as for the transaction. They didn't contribute anything to the $1,000 sell, the $10,000 sell, the $100,000 sell, but yet they're pulling this big percentage of it. I don't understand, and I'm surprised as an industry they get away with it.
I mean, I'm a big proponent of ACH, right? Because I don't want to deal with it. And also, like, once we're in there doing the books, we usually know that they have enough cash that it's going to clear. So there's some times where it's like, oh, this client's running a little low. We might want to be a little concerned and ask some questions before we put the fee through next time. But the credit card thing is crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm starting to question it myself. So there you go.
Next question, Roger. When was BYU founded? Within 10 years? You said 1879. That is correct. 1875. So you hit your window. I'm curious, you graduated from BYU a couple decades ago. I won't say go Cougars, but I'm curious how you feel education has changed from when you came out of school to now these students that are coming out of school and then entering your program. Do you think it's serving them as well as it needs to? Yeah. Or have they been evolving as our industry has?
I'm going to be overly generic, so I don't want to imply that this is everything, but I'm going to say that I feel that previously there was less theory and more practice, and I think now today it's more theory and less practice, meaning they're talking more ethereal about concepts and ideas and principles, but we're not actually getting the experience of hands-on, here's how you do things. And so I think that practical application of what it is people are learning in the higher educations, they're not as practical when they come out as to I can hit the ground running and do what I need to do. It's more, we had these concepts, these stories, these ideas, but now where I go from here, I think they're lacking that confidence. And so that would be my answer to that question.
Yeah, and I feel like it makes a big case for tech schools, right? Like if you really know what you want to do, go to a place where you can have more of the hands-on and more real-life stuff right away. Like, I don't need English lit if I'm going and coding.
Well, the thing that I would say is, as a school, we're a post-secondary school for accounting professionals, and from the state of Utah, which is where our corporate headquarters is, we actually are considered like a trade school. It's kind of like getting a CDL license, getting your cosmetology license, becoming a massage therapist. It's a specialty license, and so the instruction we provide is definitely more practical and hands-on than something that's ethereal.
A few more questions. How many tax brackets are there right now? You said 4. The correct answer is 7. And if I was smart, I would have been correct with all of them. So what do you got? We got 37, 34, 32, 24, 22, 10, and 0.
You could say any number you want. I know 37 is the highest.
Well, you got me on that one. I'm not a tax expert, so I wouldn't profess to be anyways.
Yeah. You just run the company. It's cool. And that's great.
That's true. I don't teach the tax class. That particular class, I have another instructor for it. So I am running a school here. So there you go.
Next question. How many owners must there be in a business to be considered a partnership? You correctly said two. You can't have one, so there needs to be two people. I love this question because more so I'm looking at partnerships. But you guys have done a great job of finding partners in the industry to work with. Like you and I were at Mark Kohler's event this year, where, you know, they're actively pushing people your way to send their employees to if they need to learn how to do a tax return or get the basics on bookkeeping. What has building partnerships with other, what people would consider to be your competitors, done for your company?
You know, I really appreciate the question. The fact is I look at it two ways. One, from a case of abundance. Even if I have a competitor, which I do have competitors, I don't mind associating with them and getting to know them, and in many ways respecting the fact that certain individuals will gravitate to one versus another. And I realize that there are certain people that find that what we offer is exactly what they're looking for, and they're very happy and content with what we've done. But at the same time, I'm sure there's something that resonates with another. And so I think it's excellent and it's healthy to have an abundance mindset to believe that both can be successful. My success does not mean somebody else failed or is struggling. And conversely, I don't feel that their success is anything I need to complain about and be worried about, because I believe at the same time they're successful, I equally can be as successful. So that's just an abundance mindset. The second is as it relates to kind of working with people within the industry. I am aware that in time there are collaborations that may occur. I realize that there are things that will ebb and flow, and there's complements that are there. I specialize in certain areas. I trust that they likewise specialize in certain areas. And as we're trying to service the accounting community, it's very plausible that they're going to find value in both services. And so for me to be aligned and educate them, that's exactly what I want to do. So with that said, I don't know that you're aware of this, but we have what's called the Accountant's Toolbox, and it's where we intentionally try to introduce accounting professionals to the resources, the tools, the apps, things that they should be considering as they're running their business to better service their clients. And so we, for free, just basically provided the accounting profession a roadmap of various tools and resources they should be considering.
I love that. Well, especially the collaboration piece. How many of those softwares downstairs, because we're here at Quickbooks Connect, how many of them, when you're talking to them, one of the questions they hear is, well, do you also work with this? Do you also work with that? Right? Like, it's always about, hey, can I combine my favorite tools and resources? And so it works for the softwares. It can work for schools like yours, different institutions. So I absolutely love thinking of that abundance mindset of we can get further working together than separately.
I think too, it's nice when we're in a place with a firm where you say that, like, we may not be the right fit for you. And that's for the school, that's for the vendors that are doing the tools downstairs. Like, here's what we do really well. It may be a great fit for you, it may not. Here's some of the other people. Like, make the right decision. We want your business if it's a good fit.
Two more questions. Oh, one more question. Yeah, two more. How many days are in a fortnight? And you answered 4.
I guess I can't. You know, I've heard the term before, and honestly, it's escaping me what it means. So let's see what it is.
So its correct answer is 14, which is also how frequently we post our podcast episodes, every other week. You, on the other hand, you're posting multiple podcasts a week. What does it take to be able to deliver that? Jeremy's shivering over here, thinking at the fact of delivering that many podcasts. What does it take to actually deliver content and value to your community that frequently?
Takes a lot of effort. You've got to stay relevant. Obviously, what you're trying to provide is something that's informative. And so that's first and foremost. The second is you've got to be entertaining. And so you've got to come on your A game. You've got to be willing to actually do a little bit of research and preparation. But more importantly, you've got to be able to stand and deliver when it's time to show. But the last thing I'd say is it takes time to actually, edit, produce, post all these different episodes. And so there's a little bit of a labor of love and commitment that makes this happen. It's not just some free service. It's time and money put into every episode that I've got.
Yeah. We only have a C game. We don't have A game.
Yeah, he said we have to be entertaining. That's what we're about.
Yeah, I think you guys kind of checked that one off.
How about you? Last question. How many lines must you have in a simple journal entry? We're looking for 2. You have to have the debit and the credit, right?
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right.
No worries. We just want to throw
I was thinking something differently, but there you go.
Yeah, easy peasy. But Roger, I'm so excited you're on here because I feel like so many people are looking for that next step in their accounting education. And this is actually the perfect time for us to jump into our heaps snack.
Jeremy, guess what?
What?
Exciting news for our listeners. We've hit another milestone, and I think it's even going to lend us a little credibility. Did you hear about what we're going to be able to offer soon?
I did not.
By listening to UnAccountable going forward, our listeners are going to be able to earn CPE for every episode of UnAccountable they digest. Yes, digest, because it takes a whole lot of stomach acid or heartburn to get through this. But log into that Earmark CPE app, take a quiz, and you can earn 1 hour of CPE credit for listening. How awesome is that?
Fantastic. Look at us. We talked about at the end of one of the episodes, we may be doing some good things here.
Fantastic work. Well, hop on into that app and let us know what you think of our show.
So, Roger, with that, our Apps Neck today, we want to explore universal accounting. Tell our listeners what exactly the benefits are and what they could get if they come over to your website and get involved with you guys.
Well, first of all, at universalaccounting.com, you'll find a number of free resources that we actually provide to accounting professionals to help them as they're starting and building their accounting business. So I encourage everyone to check out those. They range from free ebooks to courses, as well as white papers, just a variety of things that are essential, I feel, to run what I call the premier accounting and bookkeeping tax business in your area. The one other thing that I would also add is we as a school provide something beyond just the training. We certify individuals as it relates to their skills and abilities, but we also provide coaching and support. I think it's essential to realize that when you're in business, when you're offering quality accounting services, to be able to say that you do this, but not alone, is a big deal. So we have a phrase that we typically say here at Universal Accounting, which is that you can be in business for yourself, but not by yourself with Universal. And that's the essence of a lot of the training curriculums that we offer.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I was not familiar with your program and all the things, but like dug into all of it. And first of all, yes, ton of free good resources out there. So please check that out if you're a listener or a moms.
Yes, both our moms.
Yeah. There are a lot of different focuses. How do you resource that and like make sure they're all relevant? I got to think you have a decent team to do that. It just like seemed to be a lot that you're really trying to promote.
Oh, yes. No, this is not a small endeavor. So we have nearly 30 employees, and I have a number of 1099 individuals that actually support our curriculum. So whether you're enrolled in a specific class, you have access to a tutor, an academic coach, you have life coaches that we provide. So there's a ton of resources that are beyond just the physical or the curriculum. There are individuals here that are committed to everyone's success. There's a lot going on, and every year we're updating our curriculum. So there's a good amount of time that's spent in taking care of that with our curriculum committee. It's not just something that's static.
Yeah. It's specifically like the tax training one. So we're getting towards the end of the year. How long is that? So like if people are thinking of doing this, hey, it's a 12-week course, you better get going now? Or like what's that duration?
It's intended to be a 4 to 6 week class. Now, if you have prior experience in tax, you can get it done in, say, 2 to 3 weeks. Most people average about 4 to 6, but we have individuals that will enroll in this all the way through December and comfortably get situated for the tax season. For example, if you're just intending to offer individual tax return services, it takes 2 weeks to go through that course. So in 2 weeks, you can be up and ready to go for individual tax returns. That's why a lot of firms actually use our training within their companies, because they're able to get their staff not only certified, but more importantly, up to date on the current tax laws within just a few weeks, and then they're ready to go to business with the tax services.
I think many of our listeners are the smaller firms that under 10 employees, and they're trying to figure out how to scale, and our moms. But those prior listeners, those first ones, I think that is the biggest struggle of how do they continue to level up their staff, because they feel like they need to build this entire internal training system and reinvent the wheel that you guys already invented. Like how palatable, how it is, pricing wise, how do we make this as easy as possible? Just describe me, like, what's the benefits? How can you guys fit that need?
So I'm going to make it very, 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 very simple. Basically what it is you're right. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. We have what's called the Train the Trainer program. It's where we work with the firm and actually have a single individual on staff at your agency, your company, where we work with them directly. And then we provide all the curriculum, all the training for every employee that would basically want to be enrolled. And for the first individual, it is a few $1,000 only because of the support that we're providing to them as the trainer. There's a lot of hand-holding that we can actually do there to assist them as they're implementing this training in the company. But for all the employees thereafter, it's basically a small fee that they're able to pay per person, and it gives them access to the library of instruction that they now have access to in the firm. And they get to pick as a company who goes through which trainings. They get to pick basically to what level they get involved, whether they do, for example, with tax, individual returns, business returns, and so forth. So there's basically some control at the company level as to what each of the company employees are doing. But at the end of the day, we're doing the training. We're certifying them. We're passing along the exams, letting them know how they actually performed. And some companies, what they do is they put out a nice little carrot that says there's an incentive when you complete the program. There's an incentive or a reward of, say, a pay raise if you actually certify with a certain score at the end. So there's a variety of things that you can do as a business to show some commitment and loyalty to your employees and benefit them with the skills that they need to offer quality services within the company.
It's awesome. Something that we've thought about is like, we do nonprofits, right? So you can get certified as a nonprofit financial professional. Like that should be something that's out there. Like, hey, take this, you're going to rise our shit as a firm, and then you get compensated accordingly for it.
So just as an example, the bookkeeping training that we offer has 11 industries, and one of which is actually nonprofits. And so by going through the training, we would certify the person as being a certified professional bookkeeper. And as such, they're proficient in the day-to-day applications of accounting and small business. And so in the firm, you'd be very comfortable letting them go take a client, set up their chart of accounts, record all the transactions, create the financial reports, even do the month-end reviews. They can do the 13th month entries at the end of the year. There's a lot of skills that they acquire through the training to actually be that bookkeeper.
Know your hardcore accountant. 13-month entries. I love it.
That's awesome. So Roger, I don't know if it's worth teasing here, but like any certain programs you really want to push right now, or you think that's super relevant to our listeners, prices, anything?
Well, yeah, what I would suggest is for the listeners, take advantage of this opportunity to go to universalaccounting.com, and in the navigation, you'll find free resources. And at the very top of the free resources are the free ebooks. There's 4 there. I'd highly recommend Red to Black. It's a turnkey guide for cash flow management. It's meant to actually help you take your clients from being in the red to being in the black. It's a how-to guide for accounting professionals to be able to offer that as a service. The second I'd also encourage you to read is one that's called Your Strategic Accountant. It actually addresses the various services that your clients are looking for and what it is you can be offering to become what I refer to as the premier accounting firm in your area. That's just 2 of the 4 books that are there available for you to access for free.
Well, that's awesome. So everyone listening, head over to universalaccounting.com. And then Roger, any last thing you wanted to use before we don't steal any more of your time?
No, the one thing I'd like to just simply say is I appreciate the opportunity. It's been a pleasure to be here. You guys have a great show. I'm happy to be a part of it. I appreciate the fact that you're servicing the accounting community as you are, giving them these insights that you do. It appears that I passed a little bit better on the questionnaire quiz than maybe you had expected or hoped. So I'm going to take that as a plus or a win. And with that, just mention, if it's about accounting, it's universal.
I love it. Thank you so much, Roger.
I appreciate it.
Take care, guys. Have fun at the show.
All right, so now we're back in the corner. Nobody puts baby in a corner, but I guess neither of us are baby. But we were super excited because I love these conferences. Like, I went to 2 or 3 sessions. One was actually really good. One was okay. Yeah. But I love it because we get to connect with all our favorite softwares here. So we thought it'd be fun to run all of our favorite friends in the room at all our different softwares and have a little competition of who knows their QuickBooks the best. So without further ado, here you go.
Valerie, I'm excited to have you here. First of all, excellent Clippy costume.
Thank you.
You have to get attention around the vendor hall somehow, right?
Absolutely.
And people receiving it well?
They are. It's fun watching the light bulb go on when people know who it is, or if they're too young to know who it is. But honestly, Clippy was robbed. Like, it should have been Clippy Pilot, not Copilot.
Seriously, if Clippy would have been the new branding for Copilot, it would have been amazing.
Exactly.
I think adoption would have been unanimous across our entire generation.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I fully love it.
Justice for Clippy.
For those that don't know, this is Valerie with OnPay.
Hello.
Everyone who's missing out in life, what is OnPay? Why should they have it in their life?
Sure. So OnPay is a full-service payroll solution. It connects up with QuickBooks Online and Xero. We have a great support team. We do full-service onboarding, handle all the tax payments and form filings, and have a ton of great integrations, and it's easy to use.
So the number one thing I will say that I hear from everyone else, because I hear a lot of people debate which payroll system to go with.
Yeah.
Y'all get the best feedback for customer support I hear of anyone.
I'm so proud and glad to hear that as I hit the mic.
So I'm here with my boy Bernardo from Relay. Real quick, for those people that are missing out in life and don't know Relay, what do you guys do?
Relay Business Banking, online bank for small businesses, no monthly fees, no minimum balances, FDIC insured up to $3 million. And we help small business owners to be on top of their cash flow and make better decisions because they have the right information.
And you integrate with our accounting platform, so I can do all my bill pay out of there.
Exactly.
Love
For accountants, we provide direct integration with QBO and Xero, detailed transaction data so you don't spend time on Google, asking your clients questions. You have everything you need to reconcile those transactions. And you can also access your client's account securely because you're no longer logging in as your client, chasing into a fake code, and all the not good stuff that you typically do.
I just love that you guys give me nice little kickbacks for putting clients on your platform. But hey, okay, so I'm here with Chad from Keeper, which, Chad, we've talked about Keeper a lot on the show, but let's say someone is crazy and they've never listened to us and they've never gotten a boba tea from your booth here.
All mistakes.
What is Keeper? What should they know about it?
Yeah, Keeper is a month-end close management tool, bringing as much of that month-end close process into one piece of software. So task management, an integration with QBO for file review tools, client portal for communication on uncategorized transactions, and management reporting as well. So,
And plenty of cool stuff coming down the pipeline.
yeah.
I am most excited about that.
Engineering team keeps me on my toes.
I love
Always
it.
something new every week.
First off, who are you?
Jesse Rubenfeld, founder and CEO of FinOptimal.
Give us the pitch. What is FinOptimal?
We automate bookkeeping tasks. Our flagship product is Accruer. We automate deferred rev rec, prepaid expenses, and fixed assets directly in QuickBooks.
Okay.
We also have Booker, which is spreadsheet to QuickBooks, and Wrangler, which is QuickBooks to spreadsheet. And we're an accounting firm.
And once again, with more sex appeal. No, I'm kidding. You're good, man. Here with Mark Coram, real quick, what is Right Tool? Give me the highlight reel.
A browser extension. It goes into QuickBooks. It does everything you want it to do inside of it's what you want QuickBooks to do.
Because QuickBooks won't do it, so you take care of it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. I'm here with Ted, Makers Hub. So first of all, if you've listened for long enough, you heard me gush about them already, but what are people missing out in life without having Makers Hub in their firm?
Oh, well, what you're actually missing is a true AP automation and efficiency within your firm. So we're talking about uploading or having your clients email you bills and extracting every single line item detail from that bill, enabling you now to code things correctly into QuickBooks Desktop, QuickBooks Online, at a level of detail that even if it's like inventory information coming in, uploading the inventory and things of that nature.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys do it to a level of detail and smart learning that I haven't seen anyone else do.
Yeah, and teaching the system so it gets smarter as you use it. So starting at 90 to 95% accuracy and getting all the way up to near 100% is amazing.
Beautiful. So I got Ilya here with TaxDome. Real quick, for those that are missing out in life and don't know about TaxDome, hit them with the highlight reel.
Sure. TaxDome is a all-in-one platform for tax preparers, bookkeepers, and accountants to do everything that they need to within their practice, both in their firm and communicating, invoicing, doing anything they need to do with their clients.
It's awesome workflow feature. We use it in our firm, love it, so huge fan. So we're here with Laura at Mercury. And Laura, real quick, for those who don't know the gloriousness that is Mercury and what they're missing in their life, first of all, what is it?
Mercury is a fintech platform where you can power your financial operations and your clients' operations from a core bank. And you can do things like bill pay, invoicing, get all different products like the checking, savings, credit cards, treasury, all of that in one place.
Hot damn. Okay, so Laura, I'm excited because I want to run you through a quick little game. We're here at Intuit Connect.
Yes.
And we're going to play Connect the Dots.
Okay.
Where I'm going to ask you 10 questions, and the answer to the next question was the last letter of the previous question.
Gotcha.
So this one, wherever it ends, the next one picks up, they all connect.
Okay.
Make sense?
Okay, what do I lose and what do I win?
Your dignity if you lose, and no upside here whatsoever.
Okay, great. That sounds like a win-win situation.
Yes, absolutely. You ready for this?
Well, I'm going to try my best.
Let's do it. Let's do it. First up, this transaction type in QuickBooks is for a cash basis revenue entry.
No idea.
Sales receipt?
A sales receipt.
Sales receipt.
Sales receipt.
Commission?
Not quite. Sales receipt. If an accountant chooses the revenue share model for billing for their clients in QuickBooks, how many months does an accountant get a cut of that revenue?
12?
12 months. 11.
12?
12.
I'm going to go for a very simple answer, 12.
12 months?
3. Ooh. 12 was right, but E would have still been the right answer at the end, so you're close. What is the name of the new QuickBooks offering for mid-market businesses needing multi-entity support?
Intuit Enterprise Suite.
Enterprise.
Oh, Enterprise.
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 Enterprise Suite.
Oh, I know this one. Enterprise.
Enterprise, correct. This section of the bank feed is used to house any transaction that you would like to ignore permanently, much how I ignore Jeremy.
Excluded.
Exclude.
Exclude.
Exclude?
Oh,
Correct. Excluded.
that started with E.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, okay.
A lot. This word is used in any canned QuickBooks report to give you transaction level information instead of summary data.
Detail.
Detail. Detail.
Detail. Detail.
Detail?
Detailed transaction report?
Just detail. This accountant-only QuickBooks subscription is the cheapest offering with the most basic features available.
Simple start.
Ledger.
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 I'm going to go with light.
Ledger.
Ledger. I'm doing so
This
well.
bank feed feature allows transactions to be automatically routed to the correct account.
Rule. Reconcile.
I'm assume rules.
Rules.
I don't know.
Let's
Rules.
start.
Rule?
Rules.
Okay, rules, yeah.
What QuickBooks product allows a user to integrate to Microsoft Excel?
Spreadsheet sync.
Spreadsheet sync.
Spreadsheet sync.
Excel sync.
Sync. It's something sync. I don't know this one.
Spreadsheet sync. So close.
Spreadsheet sync.
The name of the QuickBooks checking account feature.
Cash?
Connect.
I have no idea.
Cash?
Cash?
Cash? Spondulix?
Say that loud.
Cash account?
Cash. There
Cash.
you go.
Cash!
And for the last set of bonus points, name as many practice management platforms as you can that are in this room.
TaxDome, TaxDome, TaxDome.
I've heard of all three of those. They're great.
TaxDome, TaxDome, TaxDome. Oh, there's one more.
Starts with a T. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the one I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well,
We have Financial Sense. We have Keeper Count.
Yep.
No? Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. We have Ignition.
Yep.
We have, oh gosh, Approval Max. Do they count?
I think they're just APA.
Do workflow? No?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, goodness. You can tell I haven't walked around enough.
I know.
How many did you say there are?
I didn't say how many there are. I just said how many can you do.
Does QuickBooks Online Accountant count?
I guess technically, yes, they have workflows
All
in there.
right. Carbon? Yeah, Carbon's here.
Carbon?
All right.
Ignition. Anchor. Keeper.
All right.
That's it.
No, that works. That works.
Keeper. Carbon. Canopy. TaxDome. I'm looking
Five is
around.
good.
I'm cheating. I said Canopy already. Yeah, those are the five
That
that I'm
works for
sticking
me.
with. Yeah. Levy. That's it. That's all I can think of. Oh, I thought of another practice management system.
What's that?
Levy.
All right. Is that what
Right.
you're rolling out?
They're our friends.
Okay. I like it.
Keeper, Client Hub, TaxDome. Oh God, I'm going Carbon, Canopy. I think. One second, let me look around. Arrow.
Okay.
I should have said that first. That feels bad, man. I feel bad.
Those
about
you
that.
are arrows right there.
I'm just gonna go with that for now because I'm not gonna lie.
6. I'll take it.
I know Carbon.
Carbon.
I know that's it.
Oh my God. Who do we have? No. I'm just going to name out who I can see right now. Reach Reporting.
Yep.
Katana. Katana? Brightworks. Keeper. Next. Mineral. Fishbowl. Markov.
Nope.
And
You got Keeper, though.
I did get Keeper. Keeper 1.0, Keeper 2.0, Keeper 3.0, and who's them? Who's there? Oh, TaxDome.
TaxDome. Hey, you're already at 2. Way
Oh
to
my
go.
God! Thank you so much,
Laura, thank you so much for playing with us.
Tyler. You have given me a little panic attack, but in a good way.
That's good. I mean, that's my sweet spot. So
Okay.
thank you for joining us.
You're very welcome.
All
Thank you
right.
for playing.
Hey, thank
Valerie,
you for having
always a
me.
pleasure.
Thank you. Yes.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks a lot.
Bernardo, thank you so much for playing.
Thanks,
sir.
Tyler.
Well done.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any last parting things we should know about Right Tool, or any last plugs?
Honestly, if you're not using it, I really don't want to talk to you in general. I'm just kidding. I mean,
Great, bold sales tactic.
yeah, exactly, right? You're either with us or you're against us, is the way I look at it.
I love it. Mark,
yeah,
thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Chad, excellent work. I got to say, out of everyone we've talked to so far, excellent performance, if not near the top.
Okay. Thank
So,
you. Thank you. Yeah.
Any last things you should plug?
Stay tuned. Our Catch Up with Keeper webinars are the last Tuesday of every month. That's where we release all the new features that were released during the last month. We talk about those and cover what's coming up next. So subscribe to that. Follow us on our YouTube channel and listen to the UnAccountable podcast for CPE and more.
All right, he nailed it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
So, Jeremy, we do actually have one game paired here for this week. that I'm kind of pumped on. Digital assets for dummies. So this is one actually we had to kick from last week. Like this segment is like the Matt Damon of Jimmy Kimmel show, just continually gets bounced to next week.
Yeah.
Yes, this is that game. And I'm excited because we're finally fitting it into the episode. Okay. This is digital assets for dummies by dummies.
I was not prepared for this, but we could have had Judah or somebody on a phone a friend.
We very much could have had reputable people, but instead, as with always, we had us instead. It makes it easy. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions. Nope. I'm going to ask you 6 questions about cryptocurrency.
Okay.
We're going to see how you do. So, and let us just do this disclaimer. We know enough about crypto to be dangerous, but really, if you want expert help, connect with a professional like Judah at Fireside Bookkeeping. Great site out of Oregon. They're wonderful. Reach out to someone like that. Question 1. The process of recording transactions in a digital ledger to keep track of who owns what assets is commonly referred to as what? A, mining, B, staking, C, ledgerating, or D, undulating?
I've heard the mining a lot, so I'm going to go with that.
Correct. Mining is the answer. But yes, I mean, ledgerating, that's just a word I made up. Undulating, that's the motion of moving your hips. I remember this because in high school swim team, our cheer was 2, 4, 6, 8, showing how we undulate. And then we really flex our hips like we were doing the butterfly stroke. Yeah, it was great.
I apologize if any of our listeners got official with that.
Yeah, I know. Think through that. Tyler, undulating.
Undulating.
Yes, mining. So that's what you hear about all the time when these people have mining rigs. Essentially, they have a very expensive computer that's connecting with all these other computers over the globe, keeping track of the ledger and making sure it's up to date. And it's energy intensive, but you get a cut of any transaction when you mine. And so that's why it's an operation. That's what people do, is they're keeping track of Bitcoin or Doja or whatever else. Mining is the answer. Question 2. Since the recording and transferring of cryptocurrency is far from instant, many ventures offer this service, providing funds to the recipient instantly and floating the balance until it clears for a small fee. Is this A, yielding, B, staking, C, masticating, or D, NFT?
You dropped it earlier, so I'm going to go with staking.
Yep. Staking is the answer. That is essentially putting your money on the line so that someone else gets their money right away. And for a small cut, you get money for putting your money out there.
Okay.
Another simple way to make money in the cryptoverse, and you can do this with any company you set up. Particularly think about maybe investment accounts or Roth accounts where you want to put it into somehow crypto, but you don't want to put it into a speculative investment, but you do believe in crypto as a financial tool and you want to back the industry, just not a specific coin. This is the way to get into it.
Okay. Do they have like financials, like mutual funds or something now that are tied to crypto stuff?
Don't ask me questions that we don't have the budget to research.
Okay.
Because, come on, Jeremy. Masticating, obviously, that's just chewing. Do you not know that?
I did not know that one.
Yeah, there you go.
I've heard the word, but yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah. How you masticate, that's how you chew. Yeah, all right. And NFTing, I just made up.
Yeah.
Which of the following is not an example of a digital asset? Digital art, digital real estate, crypto mining rigs, or a weapon in a game?
I'm going to go a weapon in a game.
Incorrect. A crypto mining rig is actually a hard asset. It's a computer you own. It's physical hard drive that's performing all of it. Because it's a physical asset, it's not treated like a digital asset. So if you are mining and staking, that's actually an operational business. You're not having to do any of the crypto stuff on your tax return, but you're still getting into the crypto industry. What's really interesting is there are games out there now that you can get weapons and you can actually lend them out and sell them. And people are actually doing this with business funds, retirement funds. It becomes a digital asset you own that you can make money off of.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely absurd, but this is the new world we live in, folks.
There is a Big Bang Theory, and I would think of this episode where they're all playing one of the games, and Sheldon gets I have the sword of Azeroth. And then he's Sheldon's selling it on eBay. So, should have been.
Yeah, there you go. So this is exactly what you do. So question 4 then, select all that apply. So there could be multiple answers to this one.
Okay.
But which of the following is a taxable event? Converting Bitcoin to Ethereum, redeeming Dogecoin to US dollars, receiving a digital asset as a payment for shady tax advice, or recording a subpar podcast about digital assets in the accounting.
I'm going to go with A and B.
Okay, so converting Bitcoin to Ethereum, redeeming Dogecoin to USD. Close. I'll give you 2/3 credit. So yes, when you convert to, and this is where so many people miss it, because they think, oh, I've got this money out there in cryptocurrency, I'm not going to get taxed on it until I bring it to US dollars. So they all think, yeah, when I sell my Bitcoin to US dollars, then I'll get taxed. But you're actually getting taxed as well when you convert, because they are not equal currencies. There can be gain or loss, and any gain or loss would create a taxable event.
Yeah, right.
And so you have to do that. Yeah. But even receiving a digital asset as currency, that is considered currency. That's not, you could argue it as a form of payment. You could argue it's barter. Either way, the U.S. government isn't going to say, oh, you paid someone in Bitcoin. I'm not going to tax that. No, that is a taxable event at that moment. You got to convert it back to USD to do the calculations. But it's not this magical world where now that we found a way to evade taxes, the government's not done. 2 more questions for you. Roth investment accounts cannot invest in collectibles. Which of the following would my Roth not be able to invest in? Bitcoin, a 3D art piece rendering of Jeremy's bust, a spaceship in a video game that allows me to rent out space to other users, like in Star Atlas, or transportation in a video game. The last one? Yeah. Incorrect. A 3D art piece rendering of your bust, of your face, is a collectible because it serves no utility. Transportation in a game, a sword, rent space, that all serves a utility.
What about the joy you would get?
That's why it's a collectible. That's just like any other art piece. So in the real world, your Roth can't own art or, you know, any sort of thing that's valued purely on just the value of the holder.
Yeah.
Same thing in the digital world, an NFT or any sort of art piece that's in there. The picture we got at Quickbooks Connect of us, that is super weird and trippy. Maybe we can post that on.
Yeah.
Yeah. None of that would be considered ownable by your Roth. It's collectible.
Because the bust of me would be priceless.
Exactly. In the truest sense of the word, priceless. Last question, Jeremy. Which one of these digital asset operations would be best ran through an S corp if you make enough money? Trading crypto investments, lending, trading NFTs, or gaming?
I honestly would have no idea.
Gaming would actually be the one you'd want to run through an S corp. Do you know why?
No. Why?
Because trading crypto investments, that is, unless you're a day trader, really it's just speculative assets, holding assets, passive income. Yeah. Same with lending, same with trading NFTs, all of that. Yeah. Gaming is considered active income. It is your day-to-day job. It's considered you're performing the work. So therefore it's taxed at ordinary rates. It's not passive income, it's active income. And therefore, just like you and I running an accounting firm or a shitty podcast,
and when you say gaming, it would be like doing games and creating content, like everything.
Or entering tournaments and winning.
Yeah. Gotcha.
All the above.
Yeah.
That is considered active income. You'd want to run that for an S corp. You make it. So, as we heard in the great movie Billy Madison,
everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points. And may God have mercy on your soul.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, and for today's winner of the week,
Intuit Connect.
It's fantastic. Great people, all that. But I also came up with a really good analogy this morning. I feel like Intuit's like Inspector Gadget, where Penny is like keeper and FinOptimal, like she's really figuring everything out, and he's just kind of there like dumb backwards falling into the answer and stuff. That was good.
He's got all the skills, but also he's Mr. Magoo.
Yeah, kind of Mr. Magoo. But yeah, like we talked about enterprise already. They already talked about too, like trying to get a hub with all of their tools in one place to increase like customer CRM information. We see like marketing costs tied with their revenue and the communications all in one spot, and all of that sounds cool and sexy. So again,
it's a great show. And I mean, talking with several of our friends, the vendors, like hearing several of them have already hit their ROI goals.
Really?
And like I was talking to them yesterday, this is day 3, so they got a whole other day today to go through, and they've hit their revenue targets. They're closing sales. So it's really cool to hear, like, okay, this, as much as they've paid, and I've heard numbers thrown out of how much they paid to be here, it made me quiver. Yeah. But it's rather impressive that they're able to turn around and make that much sales. So, I mean, kudos to Intuit. There's a reason we're all here. There's a reason why they sold out several years in a row. It's a good conference.
making that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for the loser this week?
Loser this week, the store came out, one of the big four, Ernst & Young.
Yeah.
Right? They laid off, I think it said dozens of people. It's not a huge impact.
Yeah.
But the reason they laid them off was is they found proof that they require training is that the individuals were taking more than one at one time. And so, like, not directing or devoting the time that they should to the training that's required.
Okay.
I'm trying to do that. But the funny part is they laid these people off, and then all of them came out and said this was actively promoted by the firm in order to get these non-billable hours done.
Right.
Came and fired them anyway, and like, yeah. So I don't think this is a new story either. We've heard this before. Is that like they're actively doing the trainings and trying to get people to make sure they get back to billable hours.
So wait, essentially it sounds like you're saying, hey everyone, you have to do these trainings. Pro tip, you can just log in and do them all at the same time, just click around.
Yeah.
And because all we really need, of course, compliance. Oh crap, someone found out we did this, you're all fired.
Yeah, you're all fired. Right?
Wow. All right.
Not good.
Brutal. Well, Jeremy, because we're underprepared, we don't have any 5-star backhanded reviews this week, but we'd love for you to leave one. Either of you listening, that would be fantastic. Love to read on the air next week. Beyond that, I think we're good. Like, successful show.
I think so. Like, as long as this comes out with the recording, like, I think it's good.
Yeah.
This area.
I know. I know.
Can we just stay here?
We very well might. Well, until next week, we'll be back in our offices and maybe actually have a good podcast then. See you then. Bye.
Hey Tyler, my staff has asked me to get better knowledge and training in spreadsheets and Excel. Any ideas?
Well, yeah, dude, I'm a little offended. You go to tylerauto.com, we have a course on intermediate Excel formulas. Just have them go over there and use the promo code UnAccountable for 50% off.
Nice, gonna do that. Thank you, sir.